And spawning in the top right hand corner of, oh my god, where are we? I would appreciate some help in the chat, as I don't think I've ever cast on this. Is this Return of the King? I believe is in the top right hand corner here of Return of the King question mark. We have the yellow Terran player, the Broodwar Terran representing Team StarCom. It is BratOK. And spawning in the Return of the King, I thought so. In the left hand corner, we have the Polish Terran player, the red Terran. It is Spirit. Let's go. A map that I have not casted on, actually. I believe oh, what is happening here? Okay, yeah, very exciting here. I believe a 4-player spawn map. Bottom left, bottom right, and top left. Of course, the KungFu Cup StarCraft Evolution, they feature their own custom map pool, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Return of the King has been in any SEL map pool yet, so very exciting here to feature some of these other maps. There is a crazy island pocket base here, by the way, which is interesting to say the least. I love that little feature. Quickly going over this, what else do we have? We have an interesting alcove here on the left-hand side over that natural. There is a pretty wide open area here. Also, it's on the low ground. Interesting position for this ramp is what I will say. It's not close enough to fully lay siege upon the base, but definitely going to be a brutal position to defend against if there's an army just staring you down from that ramp, from that high ground. Likewise, we also have more high... Jesus! There's a lot of high ground here to take advantage of this area in between that northern base and this southern third. I'll be honest, it does look a little bit difficult here to be the defender. Like, to defend between your natural and your third base here, up against the high ground on the right, up against the high ground on the left, up against like this cliff face as well. That looks crazy, by the way. Like, I'm just thinking of like siege tanks and just siege positions in general here. I'm thinking of TvT mainly, to be honest, just TvT. But yeah, that's wild. that's a wild setup. Meanwhile, SCV scouts. So BratOK, he scouts bottom right, then bottom left. BratOK does confirm the location of Spirit. Spirit, he doesn't bother. Spirit, he has not bothered with an SCV scout. He has not moved that across the map whatsoever. Meanwhile, when it comes to the rest of the map, I've only looked at the bases so far. We do have each corner, so there are no spare bases. We just have like our corner expansions. There's no bases in between. There's no bases in the center. We have a very wide open center location as well. There's no Zonagas, as of course is a Brood War map. Yeah, really interesting is what I will say. Really interesting. There's also not too many points of elevation either. Obviously, like, this is all on the high ground. But I will say that on some of these other maps, we do typically have, like, I don't know, ramps scattered throughout the sides or the corners to make for some more interesting, like, attack paths and interesting, like, angles as well. Here, it feels a little bit more one note, at least in the center. Meanwhile, as we get into our game, it's going to be mech. So BratOK, he does embrace mech. We have ion thrusters on the way. We have, of course, spider mines as well, getting into his own vultures. Likewise, we do see BratOK checking top left, just to be sure, just to confirm. As I mentioned, the only bases to expand to outside of your own corner are the other corners of the map. So it is important here that our players, they are wary of that and make sure there's no ninja bases or hidden expansions. You've never casted on Return of the King? Yeah, I've never casted on Return of the King. As so far, vultures, they do bust into the mineral line. Spider Mine doesn't quite go up. Oh! Yeah, they are targeted down. Nice wiggles here from Spirit. Spirit does focus down their Spider Mine, chases down the vultures. We'll clean this up, and we'll shut this down. Not without losing 5 SCVs. Oh! Losing a 6th worker towards the end. Not bad. Losing a 6th SCV. I believe that was for 4. Yeah, for 4 vultures. Likewise, Spirit securing himself, getting into his own bioproduction, getting into his own 2-1-1 setup. And he does wall off. He does wall off. Vultures are denied. But BratOK, he will gain map control. That's a lot of spider mines. And there are plenty of ramps here to take advantage of. True. A lot of ramps. Now, here in a TvT, Spirit, he can opt to go for that island base a little bit earlier. I believe there's a mineral patch there that will delay. think it's a patch. Yeah. So bear that in mind. But again, taking that third base, it does feel difficult in the TvT. Assuming that BratOK is able to move into position and deny that. Now just focusing on vultures, focusing on spider mines. Just littering the entire map with spider mines. Let's go. Oh my god. As Spirit, he does face check with a cyclone. Does confirm that there are indeed spider mines out there. Siege mode is now on the way. Again, delayed siege mode, as right now, like, vultures are doing a great job here just gaining that map control. Containing BratOK getting his third base on location. He is free to do so. And what's important about these spider mines, they don't just contain, they don't just, you know, shut down aggression, but they also provide vision. They provide vision, they provide scouting. You see BratOK, he has vision all over the place. Ideally, he wants to make sure he keeps eyes on any drop play. Speaking of drops, medevacs are now in production. There's that third command center. But now getting into medevacs. Scan, he's checking for the island expansion. Likewise, Spirit scans top left. Oh, Spirit, he still doesn't know. Spirit still doesn't know where his opponent is. True. I mean, he hasn't moved out. Just setting up for another job. We have more spider mines. Likewise, Goliath's now online. Getting some anti-air. Very light on tanks here, is what I say from BratOK. I'm sure he'll get there, though. Likewise, we do have a Doom Drop. Just loading everything up. Is going to commit. I believe he should be spotted. BratOK, his vision here barely, though, does not. Oh, does spot this. Does confirm. It does see all the medevacs. Hopefully BratOK was paying attention because he did see this with that vulture. Yeah. He's reacting. He is reacting. He's racing back. He's racing that Doom Drop across the map. Back at him, he has his Goliaths. And we'll see what Spirit can get done. Tanks are sieging. Spirit, he scans, he sees the army. Likewise, does pivot away. Oh, it does dive on the vultures. Nice catch. Vulture's going to be going down. But I thought just getting a little bit too cavalier there. Vultures are good, but not that good. They can't fight head on. Drop unloading here at the third. Tanks will siege. Okay, he's going to be the first to siege. Tanks should be going down though. He does get one. Does get the other. Nice clean up here from BratOK. The Bio Army does stim into that mineral line though. Does try to. And Spirit, he will win this head-on fight. Takes down the Goliaths. No anti-air. SCVs are going down. Ooh. Yeah, and he will lose all those workers. Massive pickoffs here. Spirit is now successful with this drop. It takes down the mineral line. Takes down the CC. And behind this, he can also expand. And he's not done. He's dropping into the main base. BratOK, he just cannot keep up. No, with all these drops, does have what tank in position, thankfully. He has his one tank. Oh. But Lass is losing so many workers here. 17 SCVs going down. Ay, ay, ay. And Spirit, he's not done. Spirit, he's just rallying across the map. He will run into some spider mines, though. He has to be careful. Oh. There we go. Does break through them. It does break through the spider mines. How the turns have tabled. Again, BratOK, he is in a lot of trouble here. I mean, he sees the army, but he can't stop it. Not anymore. Yeah, Spirit is snowballing out of control. He is breaking through. Yeah, shot goes off. And BratOK is down to almost purely tank. He's got 10 tanks. Oh my god. He's got 10 tanks. He has 2 vultures, a couple of marines. He has a wraith. Again, not quite going to be enough. Tanks, they will siege though. They do siege up. Oh my god, brutal drop here on top of the tanks, forcing friendly fire. Tanks go down. GG gets called. Spirit, he breaks through. He breaks his opponent, and Spirit, he will take the first game. Whew, GG. A very nice first game there by Spirit. Fun fact, Spirit, even though he had a third CC for quite some time in that game, he never expanded. He stayed on 2 bases, never took the island, never took his third base, just committed. And it was really a risky maneuver. It was a very risky maneuver with that Doom drop, but as we saw, he was able to pull it off. Right, we saw that BratOK had a really hard time keeping up with those medevacs, keeping up and trying to anticipate where the drop was coming in from. He bled out a lot of vultures early on, and the Goliaths weren't quite able to keep up. Ideally, the Goliaths zone away, right? Ideally, they zone and they deter those drops, but they were just one step behind, and alas, the third base was very exposed. We did allude to it earlier, but the third base is so isolated from the natural, so rotating over to that third from one base to the other, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time there, and again, mech armies are more immobile, they're a lot slower, couldn't quite keep up. Could not keep up. GG, well played. Whew. With that Spirit, he breaks out, he breaks free, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. They actually need race in this matchup, strategy with the mobility of the medevacs. I mean, it's just like SC2 TvT. Like, there's a reason why in StarCraft 2 TvT, like, Vikings are definitely almost a must if you're playing mech, just because likewise you also need something to deter those drops. What I will say is that it's not like BratOK had nothing to do with that. It's not like he wasn't thinking of that. As I mentioned, he was going into his Goliaths, and the goal there, the purpose of this Goliaths was to deter those drops. He was just out of position, right? Like, the Goliaths were not quite able to keep up and not quite able to get there in time to stop those drops. Like, that was their role, right? That was their purpose. But here we go. We are now getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of lane lines, getting cheesed, getting proxied. We have our Polish Terran player, the BratOK Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is Spirit. And spawning into the top right-hand corner, but also here outside of the bases, we have our red Terran player. We have our red Terran representing Team Starcom. It is BratOK. Down in the series and looking to bounce back. Now, Spirit, he's known for his greed, and once again, what do we see? CC first. Command center first here from Spirit. It means the Rax is delayed, which means this is the ideal scenario here for BratOK. The stars have aligned. When it comes to builds, when it comes to openers, this is probably best case scenario for BratOK just because of the delayed Raxes, and we'll see what he can get done. We'll see if he can pop off. For Spirit, he's going to have to try to pull back those SCVs and preserve those workers. Preserve those workers for as long as he can and try to minimize losses. As he's getting into his 3 racks. Reaper's about to dive in. Marine production is yet to begin, as the Raxes are still not done. SCV Scout confirms the timing of the CC, and the first Reaper has arrived. Let's go. So far, the Reaper is denying mining time. So far, so good. Oh my god. As the first Reaper gets around, that should not have happened. First Reaper goes down to the SCV of all things. Second Reaper comes in, gets an SCV, but alas, already losing momentum. Ideally, when you go for this proxy, when you go for this cheese, you need to preserve those Reapers. You have to build up over time and snowball out of control, but losing one Reaper, it's a rough start. Rough start for BratOK. Marines are amassing. Now, 2x Reaper is not all in, so you can transition out of this, and there we go. Factory is on the way. BratOK, he can still expand behind this, but ideally he does want more economic damage. He does need more economic damage. There we go, gets a third SCV. 3 SCV so far. At this point, the Marine count is high enough that Spirit, he should be fine. Now, he cannot chase this too far, otherwise BratOK will just rotate into the main. So yeah, Spirit, he has to back off. He has to back off to keep up. Does have to back off. And at least there's no mining at the natural. This is giving BratOK time to expand, to get his own natural base. As he mentioned, 2-Act Reaper, you can transition into a macro game, and BratOK is attempting that. Big supply block there for Spirit. So BratOK does pull away. Oh, bleeding out another Reaper. Ay, ay, ay. And what's scary about this, as he's bleeding out Reaper, is this stim timing. I say stim, yeah, I mean, the stim timing here is going to be brutal. Stim is on the way. Stim is almost halfway done. Medics have arrived. Spirit, he will soon break out. And I'm concerned for BratOK. I'm concerned when it comes to his defense. He has a tank on the way. And that tank has a lot of heavy lifting to do. Got a lot of work to do. So far, Spirit keeping up with the rotations. Still waiting for Stim. Now, at least while BratOK, as he does dive in, he gets punished. He loses 1, loses 2, loses 2 more Reapers, down to 2 Reapers left. What I was about to say is that if BratOK can preserve this army, he can try to keep a Spirit contained, but last he will lose everything. He will lose everything, and now Spirit, he is broken free. He is broken free. He is unchained. He can now push. Back at home, we have 1 tank so far, soon to be 2. There's going to be 2 tanks to defend. There's not going to be a lot of support on the ground. As Spirit getting his 3rd CC on location. Fire bats are amassing. And Spirit, he will soon move out. Soon move out. So we do have BratOK once again going into mech. Getting into Blue Flame. Getting to his Hellions. And he does need those Hellions to protect these tanks. Now, thankfully for BratOK, Spirit, he's staying back. He's staying back, just more focused on expanding, on building up. Behind this now going for his factory, into Starport, into drop play, I would imagine. But for now, we're calming down. Calming things down. We're getting into a longer game. Getting into this, I do favor Spirit. I do think that the proxy 2-Racks was lackluster. It did have potential to get some damage early on, but he bled out too many Reapers too quickly, and likewise failed to really contain his opponent. And you can just see how greedy Spirit, he double expands. The 3rd base isn't even done, and he throws down a 4th CC before the starport. Very greedy here from Spirit. BratOK does scout this, but I don't think he can stop it, is the problem. Like, BratOK, sure, he has some tanks, but, I mean, tanks on their own are vulnerable. Like this is a very vulnerable army. Moving out here is crazy. And he's moving out. He is crazy. This is a bold move here by BratOK. He's gonna be pushing. Thankfully, okay, he does siege. Does siege up. He sets a trap. This I like. BratOK, ideally, he wants to bait Spirit in. But BratOK, he does abandon this position. He pulls away. Spirit scouting with his factory. Does scout with the factory. Also, I love that Spirit, he still has no starport, by the way. He's getting up to 5 Raxes. He's like, mate, screw dropships. They don't even heal. True. Not even, mate. Just mass marine medic. Let's go. Hellions to do bypass the army. They get into the mineral line. Not bad. SCVs are going to be going down. Getting to 4 or 5 SCV kills. Yeah, last Spirit out of position. He's racing on over. Does race over. Losing up to 9 SCVs. Aye, aye, aye. And once again, this does kind of emphasize. I mean, we saw this in the TvP earlier between Skills and Spirit. How the Terran army here in Brood War is much more immobile. So getting caught out of position, you get punished real hard and real fast. 9 SCV kills. Starport now on the way. And what I'm looking forward to here is Ghost production. We're not there yet, but one of my favorite things here is Ghosts and Lockdowns. Ghosts and Lockdowns in TvT. That's the only reason to cast Homono in StarCraft Evolution, Kappa. Is that he rushes into Ghosts. Well, this time, there we go. Spirit is in position. He shuts down the Hellion run by. Shuts down the Hellions. Going for his expansion. Jesus, massing up more fire bats, making 5 fire bats at a time. As BratOK, he does rotate. He does actually try to sneak past. Spirit, he does not spot the rotation. Yeah, Spirit is out of position completely. And BratOK, he sneaks up in the expansion. This CC is going to be denied. Spirit has to respond. Oh, the base. Let's go. He's going for the base trade. He commits. There's what? 3 tanks at home to defend. We are committing here. He does stem in. He does try to spread out. Takes a big tank voice to the face. But he's going to get all 3. He gets 1, 2 tanks. The other 2 tanks are unsieged. The boys are being pulled into fire bats. Oh, no. The fire bats, they shut down the SCVs. More boys being pulled. There's 2 tanks left. And the boys, they do nothing against the fire bats. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, Spirit, he's pushing into the main. He's pushing into the production. This base trade here is just, it's just so fast. Like, Spirit, he's already in. He's already in the bases. And BratOK, he's so late. He's so late to the base trade. As again, that was the purpose of the fire bats. They just annihilate every single SCV. That's 64 SCVs going down. Oh my god, they killed the buildings quite quickly as well. Jesus. They just shut down the factories. And Spirit, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. Oh my god. That was insane. Again, Spirit, he was so quick to pull the trigger. I'm curious if that was always the plan with that kind of army. Like, obviously, like, he can, especially with mass marine and with mass fire bat, you can spread out, you can try to break these siege lines. But everything worked out so well there for Spirit, as most of the army, of course, was out on the map. There were only 2 tanks sieged. Even though there were 4 tanks defensively, only 2 of them were sieged, and there was no support, right? There was no Hellions, no Cyclones, or very little support to protect those tanks. That's why BratOK, he instinctively pulled the SCVs, he pulled the boys to buffer for the tanks, and they melted instantly, mate. It was crazy. They just went down real fast and real quick, and with that, Spirit snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. Seeing fire bats versus hellbats are rather amusing. True, true. Yeah, the hellbats, they also could not hold a candle to the fire bats. They got completely shut down. That army composition from Spirit, it felt like he was very much so brute forcing it, right? He was just brute forcing his way through everything, just barreling on through. GG. GG, well played. I'll be honest, I can see Spirit doing that even if there was a proper siege line. I can see him just like forcibly working his way through like 6 siege tanks with that kind of army. Hannibal. Aye. But here we go. With that, GG, well played. And Spirit, he will claim the series. He will advance on to the grand finals, where he's going to be facing off against the winner of the next matchup. We have Dark up against Classic in a PvZ. Let's go. Oh, and I miss this. I miss this map. I'll be honest, I miss this map. Unfortunately, this is a map that is no longer in rotation in StarCraft Evolution. My heart bleeds a little bit as we're going to be loading into Monty Hall. Let's go. I appreciate that it's here.